Farouk here with genConnect.com, and we're talking with one of the world's #1 interior designers. How are you, Laura Hunt?
Very, very well, thank you.
Nice to see you.
And nice to see you again this year.
In beautiful Aspen.
Absolutely.
Speaking of beautiful nature, you have created some of the most beautiful living spaces in this country. What's been the challenge, and how have you solved that challenge of really bringing the beauty of nature, the beauty of the outdoors, inside?
First of all, wherever the locale is, whether it's in a city like New York or Dallas or in Aspen, light is totally different. Your colors that you see when you walk into a home is very different. And so I actually, one of the first things I do is I'm walking through the house, or when we're even in planning stage architecturally before, just to go sit in the middle of where the house is going to be built and take in all the colors. And it's usually those colors that I use in the house, so that when one walks in, I always want people to feel a tranquility, that their home is a safe haven. And it can be very exciting. It can be filled with color. But on the other side of it, there is this, I don't want people to walk in and be hyper.
Right.
You know, and you can walk into some homes and you're uncomfortable, but you don't know why.
Right.
And I think that has a lot to do with what was used on the interiors. So for me, most important is what is on the outside, the environment, the situation, where the locale, where we are, what you're seeing when you see that first look out the first window.
So you really are creating a level of harmony between the inside and the outside.
Yeah, I try to, yes.
You've dealt with some of the biggest figures internationally. I know that you keep it very private, but one name that I noticed recently was Ted Turner, one of the top figures in business and media. What kind of challenges do you face in translating the vision of some of these major figures into the reality of their home?
Ted was right on. It was at one of his ranches in New Mexico. And he had an idea of where he wanted. He wanted a specific locale, which for me was rather strange because I would have been up in the mountains and looking down on the valley, et cetera. He had a site-specific place that he wanted it. And of course, you go with your clients, and we built a house for him. And in the end, I have to say, he was absolutely right. He got it. He was in the interior on a plain, looking up, surrounded by the mountains.
And it was the right decision.
It was a great decision, and I do listen to my clients. It's their home after all, and they're going to live it. So I can make suggestions. I can sort of sway them a little bit away. But in his case, once we just actually did the plans for the house to that site, and I walked around it before we even started building it, I looked around and I went, wow, he nailed this.
So it really isn't the Laura Hunt look. It's the Laura Hunt interpretation of the client's aesthetic.
Absolutely. That is so important. I want, when somebody walks into a home that I've done or a project, I don't want people to go, oh, that's so-and-so.
Right.
I want them to go back in and go, oh my gosh, that's Ted.
Right.
That's really important. So I get to know my clients really well.
You're like a psychologist.
Oh, I guess I am. Yes, you get to know more sometimes than you
Look
want to
at
know.
swatches laying out on the couch, you know?
And that's interesting because a lot of the clients don't get that involved. They'll tell me colors specific that they don't like, but they won't, and a feel, but a lot of them don't really get involved in, they don't really care to see everything.
They trust you.
Yes, I guess, yes.
That's what it is. It's
Yes,
trust.
trust.
It's a level. It's one of the highest levels of trust because you are designing. You're deciding what their most private, personal space is going to look like.
Yeah. Yes.
We're talking about privacy, and then that leads us into technology. Okay. How have you adapted technology? How has technology affected your decision making as a designer?
All right. This has been a really, for me, specific, and also I think because I'm on the older side versus young kids that are just coming through and going through school, and technology has been a part of their life. I'm a book person. I love to feel and touch books. So I have an amazing library on design, art design, so I have always looked to books. I believe you learn so much from books. And I always, just to kind of, if I started a project and let's say we're doing one in Mexico, I want to know a little bit more about the culture colors. And so books come out, and I'll mark books, and we do a book. I do a book for myself, for the client. That takes a lot of time. Now with my assistants, I have learned to get on the internet, and I can do my Pinterest files for clients, and it moves so much quicker. And
Yes.
house, I mean, there's so much now. We couldn't Google before. I can Google any look that I want. I can Google houses that go back, thousands of years ago. I mean, it's opened up a world for us. And also I'm finding like furnishings and fabrics. There are companies all over the world that are producing, and we're only can be exposed to so much. But with the internet, that has opened up a world. I mean, I just had the most amazing rug that I designed in London, but was made in Kathmandu
Wow.
for a project down in Cabos. It is spectacular. I would never have known the company or the craftsman. It was really a craftsman that put it together without the internet.
Wow.
So the internet has opened up our field in a great way. And also, solar energy. It's constantly changing, but I can get on the internet and see what is the latest that's available to us that is also cost effective.
So I was going to ask you, what about integrating technology into your designs?
Well, that's also, televisions are a part of our lives. I now expose them. I never would have exposed them years ago.
Well, they're pretty now. They're beautiful.
And also with video and art installations, so we don't get into art. And with art installations, I get a fabulous artist do a video installation when they're having company guests at their home. They can have it running in their house, so it's really a work of art
Right.
that's being exposed, not just a television that's a black, TV set with nothing interesting on it. So that part has been fun. I've been incorporating video installations in projects.
Laura, what inspires you day after day to keep staying creative?
Oh my gosh, look.
This.
This, everywhere I go. I mean, I look up. It could be clouds. It can be a sunset. It can be a moon. It can be the lights of Times Square. It's just, the mind is, and we all do look. It's just how much do we take in? And I, tack things in the back of my head and file them and go, I will use that one day. And so I have this file in my head and I do every once in a while. I pull from it and go, okay, remember that color, that specific color that you saw on a sunset.
Wow.
So, our everyday life is constantly challenging. And,
Laura Hunt, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's so good.
It's good to see you again.
Thank you.
And for more with Laura Hunt and her incredible designs, be sure to check out genConnect.com.